Alright, so you've sent your bike down a trail, pretty decent descent, but your brake's gone a little bit spongy. What's happening is the oil has vaporized and turned into a gas. Now, effectively, you've got air bubbles in your system, and that's how air bubbles do get into a closed system. There is other ways, but this is one of the ways that I want to speak about. So what happens is that the disc brake gets really hot, which in turn heats up the caliper, which vaporizes some of the hydraulic fluid that's inside the caliper, and then the air bubble tries to make its way to the lever, which makes you feel spongy. That spongy feeling that you may have felt. Now, I'm at Warburton Bike Park. I'm going to do a few laps, and I'm going to go do a very quick lap with brakes, and I've got a thermometer with me today. I want to show you how hot that disc brake actually gets to sort of prove my point here. Alright, we'll see you at the other side.
Phone screen crack, still I'm tapped in, locked on the grind. Baggy shirt, same chain, but my mind upgraded this time. I came from back rows, now I'm front row, calling the plays. Every setback, same smoke, I just breathe it in. Walk through the flames, heartbeat double time, feels like drums in a cage. Horse spinning fast, I just surf on the wave. Both feet off the floor, can't stay stuck in my ways. If it's all on the line, I'ma run it, I'ma say.
Running in my veins, I can't slow down. Racing through the dark till we break out. If I fall, I rise again, lighting unafraid. Got this fire, got this fire. Running in my veins, never fade out. Hands up in the storm, hear the crowd shout. When the pressure pulls me in, I won't walk away. Got this fire in my veins.
Big talk online, but I see silence when I'm on stage. They just chase quick highs. I took the long road, page after page. I seen cold nights, mold on the ceiling, rain in the room. Now it's plain lights, stamp on the passport, straight from the gloom. Heartbeat double time, feels like drums in a cage. Horse spinning fast, I just surf on the wave. Both feet off the floor, can't stay stuck in my ways. If it's all on the line,
Okay, so we finished at Warburton Bike Park and we did a trail called MadMax. It's 3.4 kilometers, and when we got down to the bottom, we got a heat gun out and we measured how hot the rear caliper got inside where the pads and the rotor sit. We got a measurement of 178.1 degrees Celsius, which over just over 7-minute run, 3.4 kilometers, I feel like that's quite hot for that. But we didn't run into any brake fades, so that's all good in that department. But if you're doing a longer run or you're quicker or whatever it is that ends up getting to a point where you get brake fade, there's a few things you can actually do here. Rotor size. If you can go to a bigger rotor size, that's going to push all the heat and disperse it a bit more, so it's not getting as hot as quick. Another one is the thickness of the rotor. So the thickness of the rotor, more metal there equals more disbursement of heat, or distribution of heat, I should say. And thirdly, for the rotor, is the material that's used. Now, Shimano do what's called an Ice Tech rotor. I'm not sure if any other brands are doing something similar, but basically an Ice Tech rotor is 3 rotor plates sort of pressed together. The 2 outsides are the material of the rotor, and then the inside part is actually aluminium. And aluminium disperses heat at a lower temperature than what steel does. Okay, so that's the rotor covered. The next is pads. So Shimano with Ice Tech, and I believe some of the other brands are actually bringing this out, is there's pads that you can get with cooling fins. Now the caliper has to be compatible with that type of pad. Not any caliper can just use that. So that's another thing that can disperse heat. Another one as well is how thick your brakes are. If you've got brake pads that are quite thin, like a lot of the material's gone, it's going to heat up quicker. And also the type of material you're using as well, in terms, I think, is like metal pads and sintered pads, or maybe we call it resin. It's been a while since I've actually looked into that information, but have a look for yourself, see what's good for your bike. Another one as well, if all else fails and that's not happening, that's probably when it's time to upgrade your brake system or get a service on your brakes. Because if your brakes are 2 or 3 years without a service, there's going to be some moisture in there, and that's going to bring the boiling temperature a bit lower than fresh fluid. I hope this helps you decide what you need to do if you're running into this issue, and I hope you've learned something from this.